Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Bill Jennings. I'm a broker owner, a real estate instructor. I've been in the business 25 years, and the goal here is a win-win. We want to talk about enjoying life, having fun, and making money. Okay, as always, thanks for watching again. Unedited, uncut, raw, just is what it is. Hope you appreciate that. You get asked in class, every class, someone raises their hand and says, hey, how do you convince a FSBO to list with you? And I get asked a few other questions. Hey, how do you convince? How do you convince? So I'm here to tell you right now. Number one, I really dislike the question. Nicely said. And I said, I want to encourage you to think about that for a second. And I want to communicate that you don't convince. I think you need to get that out of your head. Now, this is my opinion, but you need to get it out of your head that you're going to convince anybody of anything. Even though I might be convincing you right now, but I'm not. I'm just going to explain this. But you don't convince somebody. What you do is you teach, you educate, you advise, and you counsel. And so you don't convince a FSBO to list with you. All you can do is you can give them some facts. You can talk to them rationally. You can give them a few reasons and some justifications, and maybe that's what they mean. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. No, I usually get the word, hey, how do you convince somebody? But that mindset is what I want to talk about. It's the idea of selling or using the right word or saying the right thing to get them to do what you want to do. That's a bad mindset. And I'm here to tell you right now that sellers and buyers, people in general, pick up on that. And if you come across as gimmicky, they say if you come across as gimmicky to me, I'm out. I'm done. You and I, we're done. Okay? I don't want to work with those people. I want to work with a person who tells like it is. I'd rather have a salesperson who's truly in sales come up and say, hey, I'm going to try to get every penny I can out of you. And you're going to try to buy it as cheap as you can, and that's fine. Shake hands on the deal. All right, fair enough. I mean, I'd rather have that than try to skirt around the idea that they're trying to be manipulative or using some gimmick to get me to do something. I'm not interested. I can sense it, and I can see it, smell it coming from a mile away. And I think a lot of people are that way. So you don't try to convince them, or anybody for that matter, or a FSBO. You simply come in and let's just say that you had a buyer that wanted to see this property. So you call up the FSBO, say, hey, I wonder if I get a tour. They say, sure, come on over. They say, why'd you want to see it? I said, I have a client that's very interested in it. And I say, okay, great. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for the showing. All of a sudden a week goes by. You showed it to them. They didn't want it. They call you up and say, hey, how'd the showing go? You say, you know what? So they're not interested in it. They say, what didn't they like? And you say back to them, to the FSBO, for sale by owner, and you say, hey, have you ever considered listing it? Or what would you do if you don't, or what are you going to do if you don't get this sold by yourself? And they say, well, I suppose we might call a real estate agent, or they might say, nothing, we're just going to sell it by ourselves or not. Say, okay, very good. We'll say, hey, if you do get to the point that you want to consider listing it, I'd love to talk to you about it, at the very least. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to show you or tell you what it is we do, and just see what you think. If you're interested, I'd be glad to do it. And you know what? I'll stop right there. That's about all you can do at that point in time, unless they ask more questions. Now, if they ask more questions, what is your commission? That is a personal invitation for you to talk about what I talked about previously, which was consumer confidence. Houses selling for 13% more on average than a first sale by owner, national average, on average. That's a personal invitation to bring that up. But other than that, you don't push it. You only speak about that which has been offered or you've been invited to speak about. Okay? So if they don't go any further than that, you leave it at that and say, well, hey, here's my card. Thanks again for having me. You walk away. You know what? Just walking away is one of the most important things that you can do. And I'm here to tell you right now, there are going to be a lot of videos out there about sales. Well, what you need to do is you need to come in, you need to do this, and ask these right questions, blah, blah. Well, I'm here to tell you, there are a lot of people like me. You start doing that, and I can see that you're trained, and you've been trained to do that. And you know what I want to say nicely, tactfully said? Get out of my house. I remember one time someone comes up and goes, hey, Bill, thanks for having me, Bill. I want to present to you how we do this and this product that we sell. And, Bill, and I said, hey, you know what? You said Bill 3 times, and were you taught to do that? And they look and they get red in the face and they go, I was told I need to say their name. And I think I need to say their name. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can tell you've been taught to say it. I'd rather just be real and authentic. Once is enough. Now, if I say that, they don't like that. Otherwise, what I'm really thinking is, you know what, get out of my house. Get out of my office. I'm just saying nicely, I don't want any gimmicks. So I think, again, back to one of the most important things you can do is walk away. Walk away and follow up with email, a text message, something else. You've now developed just a little bit of a rapport. And you can follow up and say, hey, thanks for having me again. I just want you to know, I mean what I said. I'm sincere that I would love to explain to you what it is we do and how we do it. I think it might be beneficial to you. I want you to know I can get you more money by listing it than you can get by yourself, and I'm very confident. I'd just love to show you why. Now, be yourself, make it your own. You say, well, that's not really my style. Okay, well, there's a style within you that might take some of those concepts that I just said and incorporate those. Be yourself. But it's the fundamental principles involved here that I'm talking about. Again, you offer a little something, you go only as far as you're allowed or invited to, because they draw a line in the sand. You go up to the line and you do not cross it. The minute you cross that line, you're out. You're done. Okay? And if you cross the line, you're done. And it's done, and you're done for good. You're never going to get that listing. They're not going to call you. Next. Learn from it and move on. But if you don't cross the line, step away, walk away, give them a breather, follow up with a note card. Maybe some other form of communication. A text, maybe in a phone call, but give it a couple days. People always ask, how many days do you give it? I'm not a big believer on a hard and fast number of days. Maybe it's 2 days, 3 days, maybe it's a week. I like a week. I also like 4 days. But you know how I determine that? Based on the person. Are they a little more aggressive? They might handle 4 days. Are they a little, more reserved? I might give it a week. And just a note card. And whether I go with a text message, an email, a phone call, or a note card is entirely dependent on something to the equivalent of a disc profile. Are they a D? Are they an I, an S, or a C? Depending on who they are and what they are, I'm going to respond accordingly. And right now people are going, whoa, 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 what's this? Disc profile is a lot of fun. And there are certain personality types, and it's something you can get good at, just kind of anticipating, guessing who they are and how you need to communicate with them. And once you get that figured out, that's a big deal. So again, just to repeat, you walk away, you come back, you follow up later. But what I started with was you're not going to convince them, and even trying to will probably and ultimately do more damage than good. So hope that was helpful, and it's one of my favorite topics. So thanks for watching.